So there we have it. Another absolutely disappointing result. But yet again, an absolutely disappointing performance. Yet again, we fail to create any real chances. We fail to show any kind of endeavour or passion or fight or anything in the game for me. I just felt that we turned up and Chelsea stepped up. They wanted to win. They wanted the 3 points. They want top 4. They want to be in the Champions League. They have that mentality. They want to beat us. They hate us. They want to beat us. It means something to their fans, so therefore it means something to their players. But when you look at our performance, our players were looking for fouls every 2 minutes. You know, as soon as they got the ball, when they were hunted down, they're on the floor, you know, trying to get a foul. I mean, there was an embarrassing moment where Dembele took a slap to the face, and he went down like Deontay Wilder. I mean, he literally fell to the floor and rolling around holding his face when he basically took a slap to the back of the head. I mean, get up, mate, really? You know, this is a game against, you know, a big London rival, a team that really dislike us, a team that we really need to get one over on, a team that we need to turn over to cement our place in the top 4 and gain some sort of advantage, and you're rolling around. You know, disappointed with that. You know, I've got to be honest, I want our players to be stronger than that. I want them to, you know, show some passion, show some endeavour. And I just felt that we weren't there. Now, you know, a lot of that's probably down to Chelsea's play. I mean, they said it in the commentary, you know, 1 player, 2 player, 3 players, all getting involved, all shutting us down, stopping us from playing and all the rest of it. And, you know, you just can't... You need that bit of magic, but you need that bit of fight and strength. And for me, Ndombele has epitomised that. You know, when he's on his game, he really does. He has great control of the ball and great strength. But, you know, he just doesn't seem to be showing that enough for me. You know, I know he's got it. I know he's absolute quality. But he just doesn't seem to be able to do that at this moment in time. Now, whether that's a fitness issue or a mental issue, whether he's struggling with the Premier League, I really don't know. But you've got to be better. You've got to be better there in a game of this level and a game of this magnitude at this time of the season. You know, it almost feels like we're going, 5th will be all right. We'll just hold on to 5th. No, 5th won't be all right, because I guarantee you, Man City will win their bloody appeal, or it'll get fucking deferred, and we'll end up being out of the Champions League. Okay, you know, for me, if you're going to be in the Champions League, I want us to compete in the Champions League. I want us to win the Champions League. I don't just want to be also Rans. But if you're in the Champions League, you've got the opportunity to bring other players in. You've got that revenue, and you've got that, you know, that kudos, I guess. But, you know, for me yesterday the game was poor. Our players just didn't seem to turn up. I felt that Harry Winks just didn't have anything in the game. No sort of control in it. He wasn't able to get the ball forward quick enough. He wasn't able to hold on to it and spread the play or put any decent passes in. And I think he really is struggling this season. And I really like Harry Winks. I think he's a decent player, but of late he's really not played particularly well, and you know. But the trouble is it's true of so many of the players. You know, no one's really standing out and grabbing hold of this team and taking it forward. You know, Jan Vertonghen looks a shadow of the man he was last season. Even don't understand why that would be, but he looks so. Out of sorts. It's unreal. Davies coming back in at left back. You know, for me, in a game like this, I I really didn't feel it. You know, for me, as much as I've been a critic of Aurier, I did feel that if you're going to go five at the back, then you really need someone who's going to get up the line, you know. And for me, Aurier's probably our best option at that. You know, I'm not saying he's a great option at it, but he's probably our best option at it. So for me, I'd have probably gone with, you know, Tanganga at left back again, because he's been playing well and he's been doing well, you know, solid, you know, and you know, I just think he's got that little bit of games that have been going his way and a little bit of, you know, confidence and stuff. Whereas, you know, Davies is still coming back from injury. He's played one or two games. You think, well, you know, why are we changing that? You know, I just didn't think that he offered enough for us going forward. I get it why you wouldn't use Sessegnon, but again, you know, he's another option. He's an attacking player. I mean, you were never going to be able to just defend. We needed to score goals, you know. Celso was probably my only bright player for most of the game. I felt that he was really trying to get there. Steve Bergwijn as well. I think there was some quite good touches and some quite good interaction between him, Lo Celso, and Mora, but just offering nothing. You know, really offering nothing. Everything was played in the centre of midfield, and we just got out-battled and out-desired. I will touch on the red card. I've got to be honest. Watched it in real time, and for me, didn't look like a penalty. Didn't look like a penalty. It looked like the players sliding in at the same time that Celso was going for the ball, and he just put his foot down on him. Didn't really seem like he had anywhere else to go. When you then subsequently watch it on slow motion playbacks, then it looks worse. It does look worse. And at the time, as disappointed as I would have been for him to have got sent off, looking at it in real time, I thought he would get sent off. I thought, yeah, red card, he's off. It can't get much worse, can it? You know, it's our luck. You know, we got Son sent off the other week when we played them. Is a dot on the card that this was going to happen this time. And it was lucky because he didn't. And you think, well, you know, maybe the luck's on our side. But for VAR to come in and go, oh, we made a mistake, he should have been sent off. For me, I just think, what? You know, VAR has made so many mistakes. Well, not, let's get that right. VAR is not making mistakes. VAR is there to help referees. The referees who are looking at VAR are making the mistakes. You know, let's get it right. And that's the problem, ultimately, with this, is that instead of the referee on the pitch making a mistake and us all going, oh, the ref's made a mistake, we've got somebody else, somewhere else, looking at the ref position, looking at what the ref's saying, and then making decisions about whether it's right or wrong. For me, I just think all you're doing is adding another layer of somebody else who can make a mistake, ultimately. So to me, it just seems like a waste of time, a nonsense. You know, VAR, it should be what it says, video assistant referee. So it should assist the referee. So if the referee says, no foul, play on, and someone says, you might want to check that, to give you another view of it, then you come over, you look at your screen and go, okay, yeah, maybe I was wrong, fair enough. If he comes over and goes, no, I'm happy with my first call, fine, let's move on. You know, it shouldn't be go off to a studio, look at it at 50 or 60 different angles, slow it down, speed it up, whatever, look at people's facial expressions before you make a decision, you know, and then come out and say, oh, by the way, we made a mistake. You know, I think that's just total nonsense, and it's just ruining the whole thing. So, you know, for me, I didn't think it was a foul. I thought it was an unfortunate coming together. Only Lo Celso really knows whether he meant it or not. And if he did, out of order. If he didn't, then justice was done. So, you know, we wipe our mouth, we move on and on to the next one. Lamella coming on kind of did add a little bit of spice to the game. He did tend to push it a little bit more. Ali came on, looked a little bit brighter. Maybe his tantrum has got it out of his system and he's going to try a little bit harder. But I'm still stuck in the. I've still got a foot in the camp of you got to give Jose Mourinho the time to do what he needs to do. There's a lot of people writing him off. He's dinosaur, doesn't know what he's doing. Should have stuck with Pochettino. Blah 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 blah. Listen, you know, it's too late for that. You know, Poch is gone. We've got a new manager. We've got to get behind that new manager and see where it takes us. Okay, everyone getting on the chairman. I get it, you know. Everyone wants success. Everyone wants us to spend loads and loads of money and all the rest of it. But come on, let's be honest, right? We've bought Steve Bergwijn. We've bought Jedson. We've shored up a Lo Celso deal. You know, we've brought in Sessegnon. We've brought in Ndombele. You know, we are refreshing the players. We have brought forward Tanganga, you know, so we are refreshing and bringing players forward. And I genuinely do believe that the reason why we didn't buy a striker is because we believed, or the club believes, that they know who they want or the type of player they want and they're not available yet, but they may well be soon, i.e. the summer, and that they believe that players like Bergwijn, Moura, Ali and Son have enough about them, Lo Celso, have enough about them to be able to score goals for us. And let's be honest, when you're talking about those names, they should be able to score some goals. If none of these guys can score goals and the only players that we're relying on are Harry Kane and Sonny, then we're in trouble anyway, because you need the whole team to be putting in that kind of effort and putting in those kind of performances. So if we're saying that we're rubbish without those two players, then we're in trouble. That's not to say that we don't need another striker. I honestly believe we do. But I believe that there is a plan of who they want or the type of player they want, and that is why we're not wasting our money going out buying someone just for the sake of it. Is that disappointing? Yeah. Is that short-sighted? Maybe, you know, but we can't change it, right? All we can do is support the team. And I get the calls for Troy Parrott to play. If you're good enough, it doesn't matter how old you are. If you're good enough, you're old enough. But if Pochettino is saying he wasn't good enough or ready, and Mourinho is saying he's not ready, and their staff are saying they're not ready, then maybe he's not ready. You know, maybe. I don't know. I don't know the lad. I don't know what he's like. I don't know what his attitude's like. But if, you know, as a manager, you have to make these kind of calls, right or wrong, and ultimately we'll find out in time. So, you know, okay. As a half glasses half full kind of person, we have to call out we're currently still in the FA Cup. We're currently still in the Champions League, although that might change very soon. And we are still within 4 points of a Champions League spot. There's still, a dozen games to play. So you've just got to hold our nerve and see where it takes us. And if we do come out with a decent result at the end of the season, even with the poor performances that we're putting, and let's be honest with you, a lot of us can't wait till the end of this season to see what happens, because, you know, it's not been great, has it? Let's be honest. But how many of us would take an FA Cup this year and a Champions League spot, even playing crap? Pretty much all of us, to be fair. So keep the faith and let's keep our fingers crossed, and hopefully we'll be able to see some improvement in the summer. Up the Spurs.